Hey guys, what's up? So in this video, we're going to be talking about scaling. Now, I want to give Uncle Jesse kudos for this method. I actually got this method from him. Go ahead and give him a follow right above here. There's an eye that's going to pop up. Go ahead and follow him on his channel. Great guy. He does a lot of cosplay stuff too. Love this dude. Great videos. Anyway, in this video, we're going to talk about scaling so that you can have proper fitting armor. Ready? Let's do it. Alright, so let's go ahead and scale this thigh piece. So we're going to be scaling a thigh piece for my Iron Man suit. What we're going to be doing is what I have here is I have Simplify 3D up. This is the interface for it. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take all the pieces associated with the thigh piece. So I'm going to take the thigh cooling, and the hip pad, and I'm just going to drag them over to the print bed. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take all of these and I'm going to group them so that when I scale them, they're all going to scale at the same time. So I selected all of them over here, and I'm going to hit Control G. That's going to make them group 1, and you can rename this later. It doesn't really matter. Okay, and then I'm going to take them again, and I'm going to go to Edit, and I'm going to select Align Selected Model Origins. Now what this does is it puts all the pieces where they're supposed to be together. Okay, that's according to this to the file. It won't do this all the time, especially if you cut up the pieces in NetFab and you try to put them here again, and then they won't come together. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but in this case it does, and it makes my life 100% easier. Anyway, so now we're going to double click on any of these three, and it's going to bring up this scaling menu. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put about let's say 92.5%. now you can see that it's scaled everything on there. The hip pad, the cooling, and the whole thigh piece. Okay, so now that it's scaled, what we're going to do is we're going to File, and we're going to export the model. As you can see, I've done it already a few times. We're just going to rename it, and you might want to name it this way. Just put thigh scaled 92%, 92.5%. As you can see, I've already done it, and we're going to hit Save. Okay, now you're going to do it again, but this time do it in multiple scales. So I did 92.5. I'm also going to do, let's say 87.5. Okay, so that's about a 5% difference. Okay, so I'm also now going to export this. I need to select this and export. So we're going to go thigh scaled 87.5. Okay, the reason you want to do that is because you want to make sure that you have proper sizes, right? So say you go to the store and you buy, a size 32 jeans, and you're like, all right, shit, that's too small. And you go try a size 36. Well, that's too big. Now you know you're between 32 and 36 is basically what the thought behind it is. So now that you have that, you've exported both models. Now we're going to go into NetFab, and we're going to make your scaling rings. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, so now that we've scaled the pieces, we have an 87.5 and a 92.5 percent scaled thigh piece. What we're going to do now is we're going to make the scale rings to see which one of those is a better fit. Okay, so what we're going to do is right here I have NetFab Standard 2018 installed. It's totally free. You can check it out. Autodesk makes fantastic software. I mean, these guys are awesome. You can also get Fusion 360. Anyway, So this is what we're going to be using to cut up the software, or cut up the piece. So we're going to take the piece, let's start with the 92.5, and we're just going to drag it over, and it's going to load it, and you're just going to click Add Parts. It's going to put it on our work plane right there. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to orient this so that it's directly up and down, vertical, up and down. It's going to be directly vertical. And then we're going to go over here to the clip planes frame, and we're going to raise the Z bar all the way up to where I believe the thickest part of your thigh is, which is right about here. Okay, that looks about right. A little higher than midway up the thigh. Okay, then you're going to go down here to cuts, and you're going to click this button, which is going to show you these pins, and then you're going to hit cut. And what that's going to do is going to cut right on there. You see that line? Right there. Okay, so after that we're going to take the Z bar one more time, and we're going to place it either above or underneath this line. It doesn't really matter. That looks like a pretty good thickness for me, actually. So we're going to just take it right there, and we're going to click that button again, and we're going to, oh, I didn't even see that. We're going to go down here. Sorry, you guys didn't see that button. There's a cut button right here, and you're going to cut it. So now that we've cut it, there's three pieces. There's this one, your scale ring, and then the bottom of the thigh. What you're going to do is you're going to click this, and then you're going to right click, and it's going to bring up this menu, and you're going to export the part as an STL. Okay, then you're just going to rename it thigh scale ring 92.5. Okay, and then you're going to get this menu. Sometimes you're going to click optimize, and you're going to export. This is going to repair the pieces, so you don't have any bad faces, I guess. So you're going to do that for this, and you're going to do it also for the other thigh piece, which is the 87.5% one. And you're going to go ahead and take those to your slicer, and we're going to print them. Which brings me over here. So as you can see here, I have done it for both the 92 and the 87. I was hoping the 87 would just fit right inside the 92.5% thigh piece, but it didn't. One thing to note is when you create these, make sure that you go around exactly, not exactly, but around where you make each ring. So don't go down the bottom of the thigh for one piece, and then on your next ring, go up the middle of the thigh. You have to make sure that they're both around the same area where you're going to make the ring. So if you're going to go up the middle of the thigh, go up the middle of the thigh for each and every single piece you're going to be scaling for the scale ring. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to print these. It looks like I'm going to have to print them one by one. It doesn't matter, so this is not going to take long. Let me take this 87 out. We're going to get this prepared to print. It takes about 30 minutes for this one, and then probably another 30 minutes for the other one. So it's not going to take long for me to make these. And after I make them, you're going to put them up your thigh, and then you're going to figure out which one's what. Okay? And that's basically it. So let me print these out, and I'm going to show you what they look like. Alright, so I forgot to show you guys this for scaling. Now, a lot of people's bodies aren't the same, right? So say you're short and you have really big thighs, and you want to get this done. So all you got to do is here, and you're going to uncheck uniform scaling, and then you're going to adjust it here. So say you have, bigger thighs, right? So let's put 250 here, and then 250 here. So now you've scaled it for a different body type, right? And then it's the same for if you were tall. So say you were tall and had skinnier legs, so you'd put, say, 200. Ooh. So you'd uncheck uniform scaling, that's key, and you'd just go 200, 200, and then say you have really long legs and you'd want to scale this higher, so you'd go 360, put 380. So now this thing's scaled for skinnier legs, right? And that's basically how you do it for when you scale for your body type. Unfortunately, you won't really find the proper scaling until you've done the scale ring method at the, which is what we're doing here. So that's it. Okay, so these two rings are now done. This is the 87.5 scale, and this is the 92.5 scale, right? So we're gonna try it on, all right? So it goes up to about right here for the thigh. So I'm just gonna take it and I'm gonna put it up here, and it's really tight. There's a little room right here, but according to this, that's gonna be snug, man. That's gonna be really snug. So 87.5 is too small. So now let's try a 92.5. So this is the front. Let's put it up here. See, that fits much better. Way better up there. So my scale is going to be 92.5. So on all my pieces, well, most of it actually, is going to be 92.5. So that's, I actually cheated a little bit on that. All my stuff was actually scaled at 87.5. I scaled it through my bicep. My bicep was at 87.5, and so was the rest of my body. But after I printed everything, it turns out that my legs had gotten the mass that I wanted to put on it 2 months before when I first scaled it. And so I have to redo everything. Now, when you do the scaling, sometimes your body isn't as proportionate as you'd want it to be. So like my legs are bigger and the proportion isn't like my biceps. So my biceps 87.5, but my legs are 92.5. So that's a 5% difference. Same with the cod waist right here. I put it at 87.5. Well, it won't go over my ass, right? And so when you put it on, and I'll show you guys that later on during the tutorial. And so it's not bad that I went with the full 87.5 scale. It's just snug. It fits. It fits perfectly fine. It's just snug. I'm rescaling the thighs, the waist and cod, and maybe even the forearms to 92.5, but only because I want it to fit a little looser in those areas. That's all. But 87.5 actually is my my scale. So that's it. And again, that's it, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Again, super props to Uncle Jesse. I got this method from him. Go ahead and give him a follow. Just search Uncle Jesse. He's the guy with the blue face on this channel. Good guy. So go ahead and follow him around, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace. Also, you guys, don't forget to join us in our Facebook group called 3D Printed Armor. I'll put a link down below right there so you guys can come join us. We post all our armor, all the stuff that I've made, all the stuff that other people have made. So join us there. Forgot to add this, so see you guys there. Peace.